Boarding Nerdigans, this is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Ron Kamonohashi, Deranged Detective, chapters 10 and 11. So, last chapter was very interesting because one of the instructors from Blue gave us some insight on what happened to Ron and what caused him to lose his license and was banned from detective activities. And that was this murder that he did while he was doing his apprenticeship. And it kind of connects to the number of scars that he has on his body. And I know it's a spell, let's be real, I think we all do. And it just connects to like what we saw a while back with all the instructors, the instructor heads at Blue. I can't wait to get to the bottom of that. Who was the one that casted that spell? And who, not only just who, but why? What was the motive behind it? We'll have to wait and see. Let's get to this chapter 10 first, see what's in store for us today. And I love this motif, this yang motif that Amano is giving us here with the current Ron and past Ron. Are you a murderer? And this chapter 10 is titled The Case of the Island Observatory Murder Part 2. On an isolated southern island in the midst of a viewing party for a meteor shower in the constellation of Leo, a gunshot rang out from the observatory dome. Inside the locked dome room was a collapsed astronomical photographer and Ron, who was lying next to a gun. And we got our characters here. We got the observatory director Takumi Jumanji, astronomical photographer who is now dead, Koyoko Onodera, Blue locked room instructor John Grizzly, Ron Kamonohashi, police detective Tonomaru Ishiki, Constellation Idol Princess Ori, observatory chef Minami Ano, and astronomy chairman Isaku Tonzawa. Ron! I can't believe this. Onodera-san is waiting from her back. Did Kamonohashi-san do this? We don't know yet. We need to make sure. Onodera-san. She's dead. Yeah. I was so foolish. I didn't even predicted something like this would happen. You think Ron did this? This should clear things up, right? I thought that... Ooh, that gun is looking good. I thought that man was suspicious right away. What kind of weirdo asked for a brown sugar dish? There's nothing wrong with brown sugar. Ah, Ron, you're awake. Princess Ori's scream woke me up. I don't remember anything after getting back to my room and lying down after dinner, but I can tell you from your conversation that things look pretty bad for me right now. Yeah, you think? There's been a murder. Hurry up and hold him down. Please don't move. You're all suspects too. Huh? What? All of us? No matter what the case, I confront it with an objective and unprejudiced view. Yeah! Thank you. And right now, I have no choice but to suspect everyone on this island. Just as I expect from the instructor who embodies Blue's noble spirit, that's part of why I had to acknowledge your superiority. Please investigate thoroughly, you top-tier detective and officer team. Ah, he means me too. Don't think this means you're no longer under suspicion. Just shut up and watch, Ron Kamonohashi. The corpse is still warm, which means she only just died. The bullet struck her heart directly from behind. We'll need to wait for the results from the forensics lab, but this is most likely the cause of death. A gun, huh? I'll confiscate this. Director, isn't that the model gun that was displayed in the lobby? I had no idea it was a real gun. Yeah, did you think that they had a fake gun there? Jesus. All of the lights in this room are broken. There's no ladder, so it would be impossible to escape through the dome ceiling. Plus, apparently, there's a motion detector that sets off an alarm if anything passes through in order to keep out wild animals. So it couldn't be the ceiling. They couldn't escape through this exhaust port either. Yeah, it's too small. Apparently, there are no other exits. I agree. There's no denying that all these facts point to a single truth. Huh? It's unthinkable that the culprit is anyone but you, Ron Kamonohashi. God, I love this panel. I love the art here. This is great. See, I knew it. The famous detective confirmed it. Huh? That's not the conclusion I was hoping for. But Grizzly-san, Ron doesn't remember anything about it. Even so, he must be the killer. There's inescapable circumstantial evidence. Just like the training exercise 5 years ago. When Ishiki-kun and I investigated the dome, we confirmed there are no ways in or out besides that door. But the door was locked, which means the dome's observation area was a perfect locked room situation. Huh? A locked room? I was passed out, so I didn't hear anything about the door being locked. I'm the culprit? I killed someone? Jangle? What the? This is... that key is the single master key that we keep in the lobby. What was something like that doing in my pocket? Oh, someone's blackmailing him. This is conclusive proof. He even looks the part, you killer. Dude, that's fucked up. That's so mean. Wait, why would Ron do that? That's the good question. Why? Arrest him, Ishiki-kun. What? Please wait, Grizzly-san. It's fine, Toto. If you're the one arresting me, I don't mind. Hey, Ron, don't you have anything to say about this? No, nothing at all. That's someone like you. Please bring him, his boots, Ishiki-kun. It's dangerous to walk, barefoot on broken glass. Yes, sir. This is so horrible. This observatory is cursed. Wait a minute. If he did it, wouldn't his feet be cut from the broken glass? Please don't say such scary things. That's right, we caught the culprit. Why didn't you invite a murderer here, Director? It's not my fault. Officer Ishiki brought him along. Jumanji-san, please contact the police on the mainland. This requires an official investigation. Okay, I'm so glad you were here to help, Grizzly-san. You don't really remember anything, right? This is in the storage room. The last thing I remember is falling out of my bed. Next thing I knew, Princess Ori's scream woke me up, and I was in the dome, along with the dead Onodera-san, who I supposedly killed. So, does it feel the same as the bloody field trip from 5 years ago? Grizzly says he told you about it? During dinner, yeah? Yeah, exactly like that. Even the crime scene was the same. Do you really think you killed her? It has to be it. I don't remember anything, so it has to be... What? Wait a minute, Ron, that's not like you at all. Has your brain rusted or something? You sound like you have some kind of basis for that. Of course I do. Just think about it. Onodera-san is just an ordinary person, right? But the ones you try to pressure to death are always murderers. You've never once tried to kill an innocent person. Didn't I say you're not the sort of person who could do that? You always get so depressed when this happens, so I'll say it as many times as I need to. I know it, even if you don't. I think your words have helped to untangle my frozen brain a little bit. Yeah, I just remembered something about me that seems strange. Huh? The truth is, I have a secret I haven't told you about. A secret? Toto, I have a terrible shot with a gun! What? I got perfect grades in all of my other courses. But in my firearms class, I couldn't even graze the target and got nothing but failing grades. Really? There's something you're not good at? But Onodera-san was shot precisely through the heart from behind. With my aim, I couldn't have hit her even with 1,000 shots, so there's no way you could have shot her? Wait, why didn't you say that sooner? That's vital information. Because after the bloody field trip incident, I spent the last 5 years trying to convince myself to just to accept what happened during the period I don't remember as an accident, even if I don't actually agree with it. Huh? If I didn't, I wouldn't have stayed sane. I would have hated the victims in blue and the whole world, and probably would have become a criminal myself. So then, deep down, Ron doesn't believe that he was the culprit in the bloody field trip? Ooh, what a twist! Thank you. With your help, 1% of my frozen brain has started working again. Only 1%? Hey, so if I'm not the culprit, is there anyone else you could think of who might be the real one? Ah, that's right. Are you really dumber than 1% of my brain? 1% is pretty damn rude. Wait, if the real killer is someone else, that means one of the others killed Onodera-san and framed Ron as the killer. Now, who would want to frame Ron as the killer, right? That's the real question. I'll be back soon. Where are you going? To investigate, obviously. When I got arrested 5 years ago, I was crying and screaming, wasn't I? But I finally figured out why I'm not panicking like I did back then. It's because Toto wasn't there 5 years ago. Alright, now it's a bit brighter in here, but there really is only one entrance. Is there some kind of hidden door behind the lights? Probably not. A bullet hole! There's one behind this light, too. All the lights in the room were shot out. And all the shots are incredibly precise. This makes it even less likely to have been Ron. The culprit probably went around the dome shooting them out like this. But we only heard one gunshot. There has to be a silencer somewhere. Anyway, we'll have the local police look into this further. What did you say? The police won't arrive until tomorrow morning? They've been delayed by a typhoon? Thanks to my grandma, I can thanks to my grandma, I can recite the sutras. Here goes. Pardon me. No way, I can't do it like Ron does. If only there was some kind of security camera in here, then we know right away who the culprit is. It automatically follows and records the stars. Like this. I found the one thing that was recording at the time of the crime. There might be some kind of important lead recorded in here. I'm sure we'll be able to prove Ron's innocence with this. This is... Oh no! Will Toto escape from the evil creeping up behind him? Woo! Let's get to chapter 11 and find out. But yeah, Ron didn't do it. Was Grizzly the one that did it? Because there's something very suspicious going on. Ron has his back against the wall. Is his partner Toto in danger? Woo! Let's get to this chapter. The case of the Island Observatory Murder Part 3. In the observation room of a remote island observatory, a female photographer was killed. The door was locked and the one discovered inside the room with her was Ron. But I know he didn't do it. I'll find the real killer. I'm not going to read the names because I read them last chapter, but I will say this. I noticed for Onodera that the background for her name is black, meaning she is dead. So I like that. But here we go. Oh, Shiki-san. Grizzly-san, what are you doing? I'm telling you, something suspicious here. I came to investigate the observation dome, but it looks like you beat me to it. Huh? You mean there's more you wanted to look into? I'm here to collect evidence to firmly prove Ron Kamonohashi's guilt. I'll ensure that he gets the death penalty this time. I'm telling you, this motherfucker's suspicious. What? But looks like I'm up against someone incredible. I suppose you came here for the opposite reason, huh? I've already questioned everyone. Shall I tell you about it? Yes. He's a step ahead of me. According to various people's testimonies, Onodera-san disappeared a little after 11 p.m. I'm heading back to my room to grab some photography equipment, is what she said apparently. Thinking about it now, it was odd that she hadn't prepared her equipment ahead of time, especially since the weather started getting bad in the evening. That's true. Judging by the body, the gunshot we heard at 1 a.m. was the sound of Onodera-san being shot. I asked everyone for their alibis up until then, but Mr. Jumonji briefly returned to his office at 11:30 p.m., but he was back on the roof by midnight. I forgot my astronomical observation notebook. Besides the trip to the restroom around midnight, Mr. Donzawa was on the roof all night. When we heard the gunshot at 1 a.m., I saw both him and Mr. Jumonji on the roof. I was just answering the call of nature. Uno-san was in the first floor kitchen from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. At the time of the gunshot, she was conversing with Princess Ori, who had gone down to get something to drink. I was making stew this whole time. Princess Ori was broadcasting a performance from within the building starting at midnight. When it was finished at 12:40 a.m., she went to the kitchen and was with Uno-san when they noticed the commotion caused by the gunshot at 1 a.m. I heard everyone screaming, so I wondered what happened. And you were on the roof with me the whole time. Right. And Ron Kamonohashi went back to his room to sleep at 10:30 p.m., after which nobody saw him. This means that everyone except Ron Kamonohashi has an alibi for the time of the gunshot. It seems there's no mistaking that he's the culprit. But I believe in Ron. I know that someone else is the killer. Why don't you even suspect that Ron Kamonohashi is the culprit? Because he's not the sort of person who would do something like that. That's an illogical assertion. Well, that's not my field. That's Ron's thing. Love it. You're the first person I've ever seen speak about Ron Kamonohashi so fondly. What is he to you? Ron is my friend. Oh, it seems Ron has changed internally as well as externally. Huh? There was a time when Ron Kamonohashi was totally closed off and nobody could get close to him. I thought he'd never have a friend who would believe in him against all reason as long as he lived. Oh, Ron used to be like that? Yeah. How are you surprised by this? So be it. Have you found anything? Yes. All 7 lights in this room were shot and destroyed. I found bullet holes in all the spots where they're attached to the wall. Oh-ho! And I checked to see if the telescope recorded anything at the time of the crime. The telescope shouldn't tell us anything about the interior of the dome, but does it show anything? The power was on starting at 11 p.m., but from then until 1 a.m. it's totally dark. From 1 a.m. on, only the North Star is visible. That's when the dome opened and we heard the gunshot. It didn't record anything that would give us a clue about the crime. The room's lights were shot out, and the dome was totally dark from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. I see, so that's what happened. How could I have been so careless? Grizzly-san, give this to Kamonohashi-kun, and please tell him what you just told me. This is the key to his handcuffs? So then, Ron Kamonohashi isn't the culprit! Really? This is no time to celebrate. We must capture the true culprit without delay. Right. Don't let your guard down. No help is coming, huh? The police are being held up by a typhoon. That means this island has become a classic closed circle. If this is connected to the incident from 10 years ago, it's possible there will be more victims. That's horrible. That was quite a feat, Toto. Your investigation just proved my innocence. But can you explain how he decided that? Sure, that's fine, but do you mind if I hum it? Do it without humming. Fine, and stop pouting. First, the telescope's recording showed us that the dome was pitch black from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., right? It would be impossible to precisely shoot out multiple lights if the dome was totally dark. This means the lights were shot out either before 11 p.m. or after 1 a.m. There were 7 lights, but we only heard 1 gunshot after 1 a.m., which means they were shot out before 11 p.m. Basically, at 11 p.m., the dome's floor was already covered in the glass fragments from the lights. And I was discovered totally barefoot, but if I walked through that dark room, what would my feet have looked like? See, I was right. They would have been sliced up and bloody from the glass. But I was completely unharmed, and that means I didn't take a single step in the dome after 11 p.m. On the other hand, we can assume that Onodera was killed from when the gunshot sounded at 1, but between her and I was an enormous telescope, large enough to block each of us from the other's view. I didn't take even a step at the time of the murder. How could I shoot her on the opposite side of the telescope? I see. There's no way you could have shot her from where you were. I have to thank you again, Toto. Thanks to your eye-opening investigation, my brain is up to 2% functionality. Now comes the exciting part. What do you mean? The powerful, still just 2%? Now comes the exciting part. What do you mean? The powerful drowsiness I was attacked with after dinner was due to the sleeping medicine that was put in my brown sugar meal. So was it the chef? So the culprit is on the chef? No, everyone would have had a chance to drug me in those circumstances. Then who was it? Let's leave that be for now. First, the exciting part. What are you talking about? Time to go drink some sleeping medicine free brown sugar. Are those your eyes gleaming under there? Don't we have better things to do? We'll do them later. If Ron Kamonohashi isn't the culprit, then who else could it be? Ooh, this is fishing line. That means the culprit is... This is Grizzly. I need to speak with you. So yummy. Earlier I bought 20 pounds of brown sugar syrup just to be safe. That's way more than an emergency stash. Phew, now my brain is back up to 100%. So 98% of it is brown sugar power. I love you, Ron. More importantly, we need to catch the culprit, and that's why we came back to my room. The culprit must have carried me from here to the dome after making me sleepy. I thought there might be some trace of that in this room. I get it. So did you find anything? No, they erased any evidence, but this methodology makes something clear. The culprit meticulously planned for and prepared for this murder. This wasn't some spur-of-the-moment crime. You think they were targeting you from the start? It's possible. Did Grizzly-sensei say anything else? Anything else? He said he wanted to apologize to you. That's the sort of man he is. I'm sure you could see why I tipped my hat to him. He's got a scary face, but he's a great guy. By the way, he's also said he wants to reopen the investigation into your bloody field trip incident. Hey, I was unable to talk about that when my brain was frozen. It's too much for me to handle now, though. I can't, so stop. I wish I could. Huh? No! Ron, yeah, I saw. Hurry, Toto, this is bad. Kamonohashi! It's a trap! There he is, Grizzly-sensei! Sensei! He's dead, but... Oh my god, how will Ron deal with the death of his esteemed teacher? What the fuck? There's a smirk. Oh my god! Who could have done this? Who could have done this? And why? Who could have done this? If anyone could have done this, I think if it has to be from this lineup of 8, I think it would have to be Jumanji or Donzawa. Those are the only two I can think. I'm leaning more towards Jumanji than anybody else. Based on that alibi. Let's see. I just think it's got to be one of those two. I just think it was him. It's got to be Jumanji out of all of them. I'm very curious what you guys think. But in regards to Ron's situation, who do you guys think it was? And then we got the whole thing with the fishing wire. Oh God, it's gotta be Jumanji. Or because of the fishing wire, or it could have been a combination. Or because of the fishing wire, like, and with the telescope, it could be Donzawa. Or it could be someone else entirely. I'm really curious what you guys think. Those are the two that I'm leaning towards. I'm very curious what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who do you guys think the culprit is? And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. if you love what I'm doing and want to help keep this channel alive so I can keep bringing you more Ron content. There's a few ways you could do that. You can donate to my Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off my Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, friend me on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later.